Vanakkam. Master data represents the core business entities that are used across various modules and business processes within an organization. The term master data includes data related to product structure, production processes, available capacities, suppliers, price, etc. Parameters are largely contained within the master data. They control planning and execution processes. So maintaining proper master data is very important. Hope you remember our discussion in a previous session that garbage in, garbage out. Discipline towards the maintenance of master data is crucial for the success or failure of implementation. In this session, we will elaborate on the master data for SAP production planning and materials management. Before going into the session, let us see the answers for the previous session's quiz. Which is the highest element in organization structure? Client. What are the activities performed at plant level? At plant level, the inventories are managed, the physical inventory stocks are carried out, the demand is managed, planning of production is done, execution and controlling of production is done, and material requirement planning is done. Can we assign a plant to different company codes? No, we cannot assign one plant to different company codes. It can be assigned to only one company code. How many storage locations can be created in one plant? Any number of storage locations, but the business requirement has to be studied thoroughly, and as minimum as possible storage locations have to be created. A care has to be taken here. What are the different kinds of purchasing arrangements based on purchasing control? The purchasing may be based on a centralized purchase, that is managing all companies and plants, or decentralized purchase for each company, or decentralized purchase at each plant level. Can a purchase organization assigned to multi-plants? Yes. Technically, purchase organization can be assigned to multiple plants directly or through company codes based on purchasing arrangements. What is a purchasing group? A purchasing group is a key for a buyer or a group of buyers responsible for purchasing activities and day-to-day basis. What is a recommended organization element level to evaluate material? It is recommended to evaluate material at the plant level. In SAP, master data is central to the functioning of the system and it is essential for various reasons. Effective management of master data is crucial for maximizing the benefits of SAP implementation. Master data ensures consistency and integration across different modules in SAP. It provides a unified and standardized view of business entities such as customers, vendors, products, employees, and financial accounts, ensuring that the information is consistent and accurate throughout the organization. Master data helps maintain data integrity by avoiding duplication and ensuring that data is accurate and up to date. This is critical for making informed business decisions and preventing errors that may arise from inconsistent or conflicting data. Master data is used in various business processes such as order to cash, procure to pay, etc. Having accurate and reliable master data streamlines these processes, reduces manual data entry, and enhances overall efficiency. For example, having centralized material master data allows for a consistent view of material information across the planning, purchase, production, sales, and finance departments. Master data serves as the foundation for the reporting and analytics in SAP. Accurate and standardized master data enables organizations to generate meaningful reports and analytics, providing insights into key business metrics and performance indicators. Many industries have specific regulatory requirements for data accuracy and reporting. Master data management in SAP helps organizations comply with these regulations by ensuring that the data is accurate, complete, and consistent. Reliable master data supports better decision making at all levels of the organization. Whether it is strategic planning, financial analysis, or operational decision making, Having accurate and consistent master data ensures that decisions are based on trustworthy information. Master data serves as a bridge of integrating SAP with other systems within the organization. For example, customer and vendor master data can be synchronized between SAP and external systems, facilitating seamless data exchange. In SAP, master data is critical for supply chain management, helping organizations manage inventory, plan production, and optimize supply chain processes. Accurate data about products, materials, and suppliers is essential for effective supply chain operations. In summary, master data is fundamental to the proper functioning of SAP, providing a reliable and consistent foundation for various business processes, reporting, and decision making within an organization. Let us elaborate on the master data required for PP and MM. Let us start discussing the important master data required to set up SAP production planning. Before running processes and transactions in the SAP system, it is necessary to set up complete and comprehensive master data. In discrete manufacturing and other manufacturing types, if you set up master data in the right sequence, then it is much easier to connect with other types of master data because the predecessor successor relationship is already taken care by the system. To set the master data, a procedure with the following sequence is suggested. Here we will discuss the overview of basic master data, and in later sessions we will discuss them in more detail. As a first step, create the material master of the product. It may be finished good or subassembly that needs to be produced. You should create material master for the raw materials and components which will be procured externally, and will eventually they become part of the production process. Next step is to create the bill of material of the product that you want to produce and assign the components together with quantities needed to produce the product. If required, you can also define a scrap percentage of the operation component levels. You can maintain details of co-products, byproducts, etc. in the bill of material. Material masters should exist before a bill of material and components can be defined. Then work center is created. Work center is the place at which the production activities are carried out. It may be machine, line, or labor. And then routing for the material which we assign for the which will be created by assigning the work centers just we created. So work centers must be defined before routing operation is created. Production resource tools, that is the PRTs, are an optional type of PP basic data that can be assigned to routing operations. So production resource tools means the tools and fixers which are used to facilitate the production processes. And also there may be some documents which are related to the production. Those things also can be assigned to the production version. Finally, production version for the material is created, that is assigned to the header material, which is connecting the BOM and routing to the header material. Please note that the production version is mandatory in SAP S4HANA in discrete manufacturing type. It was not mandatory in ECC discrete manufacturing, but now it is made mandatory in S4HANA. Next, let us see the overall master data required for purchasing process, that is the materials management. The material master record and vendor master record, now it is called as business partner. These are the most important master data in the procurement process. When you create purchasing documents, the system facilitates data entry by copying the data from existing master records as default values into the purchasing documents. It also copies the details like unit of measures, material short text from the material master record. The data in the business partner record include the address, payment, etc. We can also store for a particular material on a specific vendor details through purchasing info records. In case of subcontracting, we need bill of materials and the production version for material management also. We just discussed the overview of master data for PP and MM. Before going into explaining that various master data, I will give you an example to understand what are those master data. For that, I am taking example of the kitchen at our home. So this is like a plant or a manufacturing unit in an organization. For a kitchen at home, who are the customers?
The customers are the family members. So family members are going to take the food from this kitchen. So these are all customers. So when you're having this kitchen, so we need some, groceries, milk, vegetables, these things to produce our food and coffee. So the groceries, milk, and vegetables are raw materials. That coffee, food, other things, whatever produced from the kitchen, they are the finished goods. Now these groceries, vegetables, and other shops, where we go and buy, they are all the vendors. They here we treat them as a business partner. So now at the same time, we are not going for a one shop for one material. For some reasons, we may go for some others also. For example, we are buying some coffee. We go and see in one shop, it is not available. The coffee powder, we have to go to another shop, which means that for the same metal, we are having one or two or three suppliers or shops also. This means this is called purchasing info record. Means one material, one supplier combination. That is called purchasing info record. And then once we get all these things right, then we are bringing them inside. Then we have the stove and oven. These are the items which are there to cook the food, right? So these are all called work centers in the manufacturing units, which means where the production is getting carried out. That is, they are called as a work centers. And then to produce the food or coffee, there are some sequence of operations. Like, if you have to prepare like some vegetable rice, what we should do? First, we have to take the vegetables, we have to clean them, we have to cut them, then we have to take them, measure them, we have to put them into the vessel, then we have to boil them, and then after completing, you take out. Like this, some sequence. So even for a coffee, also we have a procedure. So these are all called routing. That is the sequence of operations routing. In routing, we are doing at the work center. That is the on stove we are doing it. We are using the components. All these combination is called routing. And then if we want to produce like one food, it's not that only one way we have to produce. Sometimes no, instead of a little bit variation in the food may be there, or a coffee, right? The same coffee we may make based on the decoction, or we may make based on the instant coffee powder also. So to produce the same product, the coffee, we may have two kind of bill of materials, or we have two kind of way to produce it. This combination, different combination, this is called the different production versions. Mean we are having different versions of production. And then in the kitchen, we have the cutting board, knife, cleaning cloths, peelers. They are all not becoming part of the product. They are only supporting the production, means the cooking. They are not becoming part of the food or coffee, right? So these are all called as a production resource tools. I hope this overview is giving you right an example. Like you can link now, right? Based on the kitchen, you can link which are all the master data which are used in PP and MO.
Now let us understand the individual master data starting with material master. A material master is whatever the company wants to maintain as an inventory item. The examples of the inventory items are finished goods that a company first produces in-house and then they are selling it, or semi-finished goods which are used to keep as a work in process to continue the production, components and raw materials which are used to produce the products, and then production resource tools which are supporting the production, spares, consumables, these are no supporting the production. Packaging materials are the items which are used to pack the products to send it to the customers. Creating and maintaining the information on material master is the collective and a combined responsibility of a company's various departments and divisions. A material master is a central element, therefore, everyone contributes their share of maintaining different information. In the SAP system, maintaining logically structured information absolutely helps the relevant department efficiently perform their day-to-day business functions. Integrating all of the master data in one single database object means the problem of data redundancy is not an issue. The stored data can be used by all areas such as purchasing, inventory management, materials planning, invoice verification, and so on. The data contained in the material master is required, for example, by the various functions like ordering and purchasing, updating the movement of goods and managing the physical inventory in inventory management, posting invoices in invoice verification, processing sales orders in sales, planning requirements, scheduling, work, and execution of the production and production planning and control. The structural logic that applies to vendors and customers is also valid for material master records. To add proper visibility to the entire material master creation process, the SAP system provides views in which the relevant departments of the company can fill in their share of the information. To start with, in the basic data, the details which are relevant to the entire material master, like basic unit of measure, gross and net weights, volume, product hierarchy, design, drawing information, these things are covered. We will discuss these points in detail later. So these details, which are also called as a independent details. Also, when we are creating the metal master, we need to enter the material type. What are the material types? Like semi-finished goods, finished goods, trading good, spare parts, and raw materials, whatever it is. This material type will decide what are all the views we need to create for them. So most of them, they will be like a organization dependent information. The organization dependent information are specific to the plant or sales organization or storage location. These may be like MRP views, purchasing view, planning views, forecasting view, accounting view, even costing view. These things are maybe different. So material master is having some, there are independent views which are all the independent of any organization. There are dependent views which are specific to the particular organization. As we see here, each user department has its view of metal master record. For example, the data relates to the accounting department is stored in the accounting view. Data relates to the metal planning is stored in the MRP views. A view can extend to one or more screens. For example, MRP view has 4 screens. The table here provides an overview of plant independent and plant dependent views of the metal master. There are some views of organization independent means the data maintained in these views will affect all company codes and plants in that client. There are some dependent views. They may be plant dependent, storage location dependent, or sales organization dependent. In some views, both independent and dependent parameters may be maintained. The appearance of a check mark in the column denotes the data that we need to maintain for a given function. Here we see some more views which are organization independent and dependent. All the views in Metal Master are closely integrated with each other. Still, the core views of production planning are basic data views, MRP views, work scheduling views, PPDS and forecasting views, and also the costing view. Costing view is highly integrated with PP to define the product costing. Similarly, the core views of material management are basic data views, purchasing view, MRP views, and plant store location views. In addition, the accounting view is highly integrated with MM for valuation class. Now let me show you the materials list and also some views as some demonstration. To see what are all the list of materials in a plant, the transaction is MM60. After putting MM60, here I am putting SGMC star. This means whatever the metal starting with SGMC, then I would like to see them. SGMC starting in the plant 1710. I want to get the list of materials. Then I execute this report. Then I am getting this list. You can see here. See, there are many materials which I already created for our business case, and also I am practicing in these materials for this course purpose. I will give this similar list to everyone who is purchased the dedicated server. You will get the list. You can work according to them. Now let us go to the individual material, right? So it is a MM03. Here, to have the MM03, then I am entering the material code here, SGMCTRNG-CP1003. This is the material code. This is created with one logic that I will explain later. We have different views here, you can see basic data 1, 2, like that. We have different views there. These views will be useful for the purposes of different departments as we discussed earlier, right? So now we are putting the organization element like a plant, storage location, etc. Then we go inside. See, now we can see the views, basic data 1, 2, like this. Also on the right side, now when you click on that small square button, we see all those views here related. basic data 1, 2, purchasing, MRP 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have the plant storage location, then accounting. Like these different views are there. This is how we will see the views. No, different views are created. This is for the material which you are purchasing. So only those related views are there. Bill of materials and routings contain important basic and master data for integrated materials management and production control. The result of the design phase is an engineering drawing and the list of the parts required to produce the product. The bill of material, that is BOM, is a complete formally structured list of components that make up a product or assembly. In the design department, new products are designed to be suitable for production as well as for the intended function. In this product phase, drawings and list of components bill of materials are produced. The list contains the item number of each component together with the quantity and unit of measure. Bill of materials contain essential master data for integrated materials management, production planning, production control, and production costing. These components may be raw materials or packaging materials procured directly from vendors or sub-assemblies produced inside the company. Bill of materials can be found in various forms, whether it is finished goods or semi-finished products that are produced from several components or materials. Depending on the industry sector, these bill of materials may be called as like a recipe list or ingredient list or component list. The bill of material is serving various functions like material requirement planning, work scheduling, procurement, and product costing. Let us see how bill of material will appear in SAP. Sorry. The transaction is CS03. Now I am seeing the bill of material for the semi-finished component, that is SGMC TRNG IP1001 for the plant. Now you see, you can see the list of materials to produce that header material SGMC TRNG IP1001. There are 5 components required. It is having list, right? 10, 20, 30, 40. Component code is there, description is there, quantity is there, and all these things are required. Now header, I go to the header. See, this is to produce one piece of that header quantity. That is to produce one piece of input assembly. I need those components, these 5 components, each one piece. That is this bill of material. So there are various other details are there. Those things we'll discuss later. Next, we will discuss the work center. A work center is where an operation or activity is carried out within a plant. A work center is a location where the capacity of the production resources is consumed by activities performed in the manufacture of products. A work center can represent anything as a general as a geographic location or specific as a particular machine within the department in the plant. Work centers can be used, no, sorry, work centers are used in the task lists like routing, standard network in case of project systems, inspection plan in quality management, maintenance task lists in plant maintenance, like that. And also in the orders, like this in the production orders, to identify where the work is going to be performed. Work centers can be used as capacity collectors for internal processing, that is in-house production, and external suppliers for external processing. So when you are performing the external processes, work centers are also created to indicate that to whom you are doing it, that you will be created as a work center. Those things I will explain later as part of that external process discussion. Synonymous terms for work centers are machine group or capacity group. A work center is created within a plant. A work center may be an individual machine, or it may be a production line, or it may be an individual person or group of people, or it may be a manufacturing cell. Based on the operations carried out, work centers have to be defined suitably. Now let us see the work center in SAP system, how it will look like. To see the work center, code is CR03. So here I am giving the work center number SG001, that is the work center code in plant 1710. That is the plant and work center number. See, now we can see there are 5 different tabs are here: basic data, default values, capacity, scheduling, and costing. There are 5 tabs are there, and all these tabs define the details required for the work center. In the basic data, we see the usage and also what are all the keywords, like the key like a setup, machine, labor are there. The default values, When you assign this work center to routing, what are the default values should be popped up? Those are appearing here: control key and unit of measurement of the setup, processing, labor, etc. In capacity page, we are having the formula for the setup formula, processing formula. Similarly in scheduling also. And in costing tab, we will be seeing what is the cost center. There will be a formula also for this. These things we will see later. So these are the details which are covered in work center. For more details, we'll discuss later. Routing is the sequence of logical production processes through which a product will transform from raw material into finished product. The routing defines the operations, that is the sequence of activities to be performed, and also it will include where the work will be performed, that is the work center, how long the work will take, that is the standard time, what materials or components that will be used for the operation, and will there be any special tools, jigs, etc. will be used, that is the production resource tools. The operation details are defined for each operation based on the production quantity, production time, and associated unit of measurement. You assign work centers to the routing, which should also contain a standard value key for the work center, in which the standard values for setup time, production time, and teardown time are defined. When you create an operation in a routing, you enter the work center where the operation is performed. There are details which are maintained in the work center, like the default values we discussed, right? There are some details which will be maintained in the work center that will be moved to the routing. That is what we saw there during the discussion of work center. And also the activity types like setup time, processing time, labor time, those things should be carried to the routing time. And the standard value key, which is a combination of all these activity types, that is routing operations. Sorry, the yes, activity types. The standard value control means that whether we need to enter the setup time or we don't need to enter the setup time, those kind of controls will be copied from routing to the work center, sorry, work center to the routing. And also the formulas which are entered in the work center, those things will be copied into the routing. So these things you may find it little difficult to understand now, but once we discuss the master data one by one in detail, later you will be able to appreciate this. Once you saw all those things, then you can come back here. Then if you see, this will be very clear to you. When we create a routing, the components required to produce the product in the sequence of operations are also assigned in that routing. So when you're assigning these components, normally they will be assigned to the first operation, that is 0010 as the default. But sometimes we maybe need to have some of the items, not exactly everything into the 0010, but some items may be in 020, some items in 030, like that. Like no, as we show here. Here, the 10 and 20 required in operation 10, but 30 is required in operation 30, 40 is required in operation 30, right? So if the metal is required in operation 40, why should I give it in operation 10 itself? No, that is unnecessary. So these kind of changes, we can do it in the routing by changing the component. Those things I will explain you when you are doing the demonstration. Here I will show you a routing of a product, how it is appearing in the SAP. So the transaction code to see the routing is CA03. Right, transaction code is CA03. Here I put the subassembly TRNG IP1001. Then plant is also there. Enter and go inside. See, now it is showing these two operations 0010, 0020 for the product IP1001. And it is also showing the two work centers SG01, SG02. Two work centers are there. What are all the descriptions which are to be created? Those things also shown here. Right, what means the operation, what operation is carried out, pre-assembly. Now when you go to the right side, right, I can see the setup time and also the machine time, labor time. Those things are defined for the respective operations. And then when I go to the header, right, here I see what is that routings usage. It is used for production. Also it is the now here you see the group number and group counter. These things are important when we define the production version. And then we see the usage of the the routing is a production is a usage, and the overall status is released. Now we come back here. This is the routing, and here we see the allocation. Allocation, we see the components by clicking this. See, all these components which you saw in the bill of material, they are appearing here. But here the activity, if we see, they are not assigned to any of the operations. If they are not appearing anything, this means these are default assigned to the operation 10. This is what I told. But if I want to assign this CP1003 to operation 20 or operation 30, we can do it. I will show you later when you are discussing on the routing in detail. Production version is a way to produce a product with a combination of bill of materials and routing. Production versions support to produce a product in different combinations of BYM and routing. This includes, for example, a metal having one routing but multiple bill of materials. So for each BOM and the same routing, the system needs a separate production version to denote the uniqueness of the different ways to produce the product. I showed you the example. I told you the example, right? The coffee. I can make with the decoction or I can make with the powder also. This one not two kind of BOM I can use the same routing or different routing also. The requirement to create a separate production version is applied when you have different BOM, that is a one BOM different way to produce, or different BOM one way to produce, or different BOM or different routing. Here we see the example. See, the metal 1 is produced from BOM 2 for if but through the routing 1 itself. So we have to create the production version 2. Similarly, we are having the production version 3 when you are having BOM also different, product routing also different, that is produced in different work center also. But ultimately, we are having the material 1 as the finished product from all these processes. So we are having 3 production versions here, right? So what are the key features which are there in the production version? The production version may be based on the period specific. For example, I want to follow the production version 1 during April to June, production version 2 in the month of July to October, production version 3 from November to January later. It may be based on the season, right? Sometimes depending on the temperature, depending on the metal availability, depending on the fuel availability, the version may change, right? So based on the date, or it may be based on the volume. If I have the less volume, I use one production version. If I use high volume, I may use another production version. Like this, right? So there are some criteria which will define during the production version creation. According to the criteria, system will select which production version we are going to use. Then according to that, it will select which BYM, which routing, so that it will plan the materials, it will plan the capacity, etc. So in the process manufacturing and REM, it is mandated to create and make available the production version. It was there in ECC, now also it is there. As I told you earlier, in S4HANA, this production version is mandatory for discrete also to select the right BOM based on the criteria what we define. Now we'll see the production version for the product. Here we take the C223 is the transaction to see the production version. C223. C223. So here I am putting the subassembly IP1001. And when I press enter, see I see the product. And then see here I see it is clear. Green means the version is correct. There is a validity date I can see here, 23 to 26. There is a lot size range from 1 to 9999. This is a lot which is applicable. Also I am seeing the routing details and the BOM details. Apart from this, by selecting this, by clicking the consistency check, I can see the bill of material is the task list means the routing is existing for the given period, and also the BOM is also existing for the period given. So both the things are meeting. So I created the production version which is valid to produce the IP1001 with the relevant BOM and routing without any problem. This is how the production version will be there. Now we see the master data required for materials management, that is the procurement process. Here already we discussed material master, bill of materials and production version. Concerning the production version, there is a difference between the production version for production and the production version for the subcontracting. As there is no routing for the subcontracting, only the BYM will be linked to the material for which the production version will be created for subcontracting. So first let us discuss the difference between the production version for subcontracting compared to the production, and then we'll discuss the other master data of MM. So now let us see the production version of a subcontracting item. Again it is C223. The subcontracting item is CP1003. Okay, CP1003, and there is no routing for this item. So I go and remove the routing, and then I press enter again. So now the routing is, the production version is available. It is showing the validity date, etc. And you can see here only the BOM is attached. There is no routing for this material. Now after selecting this, let us go and check the consistency there. See the routing is not there. Let us check the consistency. Here we can see there is no task list, which means the routing is not there, only BOM. So this is how we create the production version for the Subcontracting items linking only the BOM with the header material. This also we'll discuss in detail later. A business partner can be a person or group of personnel or organization that are having some interest in the company's business. We can create a business partner in different business partner roles. During a business relationship with the company, a business partner can assume other business partner roles. We don't need to create general data which is the same for all business partner functions. In SAP S/4HANA, the business partner has become the leading object and the single point of entry to maintain supplier and customer master. This approach makes the master data maintenance easier and achieves harmonization among the various business functions of a company. As a result, we can use the same business partner for different functions. Compared to ERP transactions, SAP maintaining the supplier customer master data through the business partner offers the following advantages. Because in SAP ERP we used to have separate vendor master and customer master, but now we are going to have only one business partner. So in this system, the business partner whoever is the legal entity that is represented as one business partner. A business partner allows the maintenance of multiple addresses for various users. In SAP ERP, one supplier or customer could only be associated with one vendor account group. With the business partners, multiple roles can be associated with the same business partner. Maximal data sharing and reuse of data leads to easier and simplified data consolidation. The general data of business partner is available for different business partner roles, while specific data is stored for each role. Multiple relationship to the same business partner can be maintained. Time dependency at different sub-entities like roles, address, relationship, bank data can be maintained. Please note, customer vendor integration CVI for business partner is a mandatory prerequisite in SAP S/4HANA. When you are treating one business partner, same for vendor and also customer. During SAP implementation project, due to the integrated nature of the business partner in materials management with FI, it is highly recommended to coordinate with the FI team to ensure that the configuration and the business processes between FI and MM are completely aligned. So don't make any mistake that it is MM job will do it. Always take along with the FI. I will normally suggest this business partner configuration along with the FI, and also the maintaining the business partner. The primary responsibility should be given with FI. Now let us see the business partner data in SAP. So the transaction code for business partner is BP. That's it. So here we go there. It has gone into the system. If I don't know that who is a business partner, then I can just search it also. I just pressed starter. It has listed various things. So I select one of the business partner like 1730010. Then I click it inside. See, now I am in the general data. I go there, general data, by clicking this. See, now I can see the address details, address overview, and then identification of the business partner, and what are the control parameters required for the business partner, payment transactions, how they will be doing, what is the status of the business partner, like this you can see. And then I go to the supplier details. So here I see, in addition to this, other details also, right? So here I am seeing the vendor general data. Here I see the vendor number 1730010. The BP number is there, vendor number is there. This need not be the same. In this case it is same, it need not be same. And now we are seeing the vendor tax. Now here I am seeing the purchasing view, which is where we maintain the purchasing specific details like a purchasing functions, the partner functions. I can treat this partner in different functions, then vendor sub ranges. Partner function, you see, I can see the ordering or supplier integration. Then I go to the supplier accounting process where we maintain the partner payment transactions and other details we can maintain from the accounting point of view. So suppliers general data will be, so the business partner general data will remain the same. Based on the role we can do it. So for example, you saw it as a supplier finance accounting, then different partner roles were there. Like this we saw the different things. Those things we'll discuss when you are going for the regular business process transactions. Purchasing info records contain concise information on a vendor, that is the business partner, and the material we procure from this vendor. For example, each vendor may have specific terms and conditions of purchase for each material. Then this information is stored in purchasing info record. The purchasing info record is an important source of information for the buyer, enabling the buyer to determine through the list displays which vendor offer a particular material or which materials can be procured from a particular vendor. We can store and maintain the following data into the info records like current and future price conditions, delivery data like planned delivery time, tolerances, the vendor data like contacts, then text details. When you create the purchasing documents like a purchase order or contract, system will display the data maintained in info records as a default values. Also, purchase info record is the one-to-one relationship between the material and the vendor. If one material is supplied by two vendors, then we need to create two info records. Similarly, if two materials are supplied by the same vendor, then we have to create the two different info records. So it is a one-to-one relationship. Please remember this. So let us further little elaborate on this purchase info record. Purchase info records are created according to the business need. It may be created for the standard purchasing or subcontracting purchasing or pipeline purchasing or consignment purchasing. Purchase info records can be maintained at different organization levels like at client level, purchase organization level, or at the plant level, because the different purchasing procedures. Hope you remember them. Purchasing info records have general data, purchasing organization data, and plant data. An information record contains various details like in general data it gives vendor master number, remainder data, order unit, etc. In purchase organization data it gives the delivery time, minimum quantity, gross price, etc. Also in purchase organization plant data it gives the plant delivery time, minimum quantity, gross price, etc. So when you create the purchase order, the system search for a valid information record for the purchase organization and plant combination. If no such information record exists, the system searches for the purchasing organization only. Now let us see the purchase info record for one material. So here to see the purchase info record, the transaction code is ME13, ME13. We have the supplier number, material code, purchasing group, organization plant. See here we can see the four types of purchase info record like standard, subcontracting, pipeline, and the consignment. Those four types are here we can see. Because now we are going to display the standard, I will be selecting the standard and we press enter and we go inside. So here we see the general data which is showing the info record number, supplier number, material number, remainder date, etc. What is the order unit, those kind of things. Then we go to the purchasing organization data where it is showing what is the delivery time, purchasing group, standard quantity, and also what is the price for this material. And then we go to the conditions page where it is showing what is the base price, default price, and for this material what is the default price we maintain. These are the things which are made in the conditions page. So these are some basic information. I'm just giving an no idea of what kind of info record, what are details are maintained. Details will go later when you're discussing in detail about info record. Source list means, so when a company is buying one material from one vendor, then there is a one vendor, one material combination. We don't need to maintain the source list. That is the single source. The single source will be, it will be maintaining that some companies maintain the single sourcing only because of various reasons, economies of scale or technology because of this. But many cases, materials will be purchased from different suppliers. So we'll have different info records. So which one we have to consolidate these things? All these things are consolidated in this master data called source list. From here, we can select one of the vendor or combination of vendors based on the quota arrangement, which have to come for the MRP or which should be blocked. Those kind of things we can do it. Those things we'll discuss when we are discussing about source list in detail. So now let us see the source list, how it is there. The code is ME03. ME03 is to display the source list. Here just to give the material and what is the plant. I am putting the raw material and the plant 1710. Here I can see because we have only one info record for this, so it is showing that what is the validity date of that, who is the supplier, which purchase organization, and whether it is fixed or MRP indicator. Those things I'll explain later when we go for the detailed discussion of the source list. But this is how it will be appearing. When you have two or three suppliers, it will show these 2-3 lines extra there. So in this session, we discuss various master data required for MM and PP, like metal master, where we talked about the purchasing, MRP parameters will be there, other parameters, bill of materials. We saw the definition, we saw the screens also. Then we discussed about the what is work center, what are the details there, and then we discussed about routing, what is the sequence of operations, and then we discuss about the production version, the different combination of BOM and routing to produce the same product. We will have the production version, which is mandatory in case of S4HANA. Then we discuss the MM specific related things like a business partner, which is created for a vendor or a customer, the same thing. It is the one data for partner who is acting as a vendor and customer. Purchase info record is a one-to-one relationship between the metal and supplier. We saw that various details which are the like conditions and different types of purchase info records. Source list is it may be a single source or multiple sources. When you have the multiple sources, mainly it is required to select which supplier is to be selected for MRP and other purposes. So like this, we saw the introduction of all these master data. We are not going to stop here. We will be discussing each master data in detail for each parameter in the coming sessions.
For some of you, there may be a doubt on what is independent parameter, what is dependent parameter. Let me explain with an example of a cell phone. Cell phones will be the same wherever they are used. That is, the identification code of a cell phone, the description, unit of measurement, the design, all these things will be same across wherever they are used. So these are all called independent parameters. They do not change according to the location or according to any region or something. Let us say that the cell phone is produced in India and sold in India, Germany, the USA, and China. For the manufacturing unit in India, it is an in-house production item. For the branches in Germany, USA, and China, it is a purchase item, means they are purchasing from India and then they are selling it. So the procurement type in India, it is in-house production, but in other countries, it is a purchase item. So they change based on the location, based on the how the procurement is done, like whether it is produced or it is purchased. Similarly, the selling tax, the sales tax applied in each country may be different for the same product. So the sales organization details for the same product will be different based on the location. So the selling price also may change. The costing of the metal also may change. Like this, parameters will change according to the location. These things are called dependent parameters. I hope this explanation gives you an understanding of these independent parameters and dependent parameters.
Some of you may have a doubt on this production version, that different BOM, different routing, etc. Let me explain with one practical, very simple example. Let us take that one detergent powder, 1 kg pack is getting produced. So the product is detergent powder, 1 kg, 1 pack. Okay, let us take it. To produce this product, so what should be our bill of material? So the bill of material will be to produce this 1 kg of this powder, that is one pouch. We need detergent powder. The powder required is 1 kg of powder, and we will be using that the packaging rolls that will be running through the machines. So that one we will be requiring 0.016 kg. That is what the packaging metal laminate will be using. Once you produce all these things, we have to put them into the bag. That the one bag will be capturing into this, like 30 pouches will be put into the bag, right? So this is the combination of the particular detergent powder. Now this is running in a machine, the packaging roll. Using the roll, we'll put the roll, powder will be going there, they will be packing it. So we'll be packing in a packaging machine. The packaging machine will be running at 20 pouches per hour. That is the speed of this particular machine. This is just example I'm putting it. Okay, 20 pouches per hour. This is the the one detergent powders BOM, and the routings. Routing is what packaging machine. Okay, first filling the powder, packing and doing it. So we have a BOM, we have the routing, we have this work center. So now let us see the same detergent powder package, right? That is at 1 kg, right? Now let us see with a different way to pack it. Let us see that with a different way to pack it. So here the product remain the same. Detergent powder 1 kg pouch. Ultimately, we are going to see the detergent powder 1 kg pack in the shop when you are going and buying. Now the powder is same 1 kg, but now we are going to have the pre-formed pouch. It is a pre-formed pouch, that is one piece we are going to use. And in a bag, instead of bag, we are going to use a carton. So in that carton, we will be filling 12 pouches per carton. See, the packaging structure is changing here because we are packing in the carton. So now instead of packing machine, these things will be packed in a manual packing table because we are going to use the pre-packed pouch. And the speed of this packaging will be 15 pouches per hour. This is what is the routing for this. So we are having this same product but coming from two different BOM and two different routings. Same product. BOM is changing because of the packing roll and the pre-formed pouch, carton and bag, and also the routing is changing because we were using packaging machine and then we are using the packing table now. So we are having this different BOM and different routing. Okay, so this is a typical example. This is the scenario. I think most of you know this scenario. Otherwise, you can also imagine this scenario. So now BOM with that packing roll, right? BOM with the packing roll. This is BOM one. Routing with the packing machine is the routing one, right? So BOM one, routing one. Similarly, BOM with that preformed pouch is routing 2 and BOM 2. Routing with the packing table is routing 2. So we have BOM 1, routing 1, through which also we can produce the detergent powder, that is production version 1. Then we have the BOM 2 and routing 2, through which also we can produce the product, the same product, that is called production version 2, right? So these are the two production versions. Now, if I want to produce the quantity of more than 1000 pieces, then what I will prefer? I will prefer to produce this in a machine. So I will be taking this production version 1, right? I will use a production version 1. If the quantity is less than 1000, I will not run the machine. Why should I run the machine? I will use the labor. I will do the manual packing only, so that I will be using this less than 1000. So I am using the production version 1, production version 2 according to the size here, the quantity. So this is what now, based on quantity selection, we can select like this, no date, etc. We can do it. Those things we'll see more detail how to work on them in the system separately. But this is the brief idea that what is the production version, how these things are used. Hope it is clear now to you. Otherwise, ask your doubts in the comment section of this session. So it is time to refresh our understanding here on this session. We'll see the quiz. So what are the basic master data for SAP production planning, and what is the sequence of creating basic master data for SAPPP? What are the various views in organization independent? What are the important views for SAP production planning? What are the functions of bill of materials? What are the examples of work centers? What is the routing? What are the details copied from work centers routing? What is the default allocation of components routing? What is the purpose of production version? List out different views maintained in Metal Master, at least 5 views. Give few examples of organization dependent parameters and independent parameters and Metal Master. Vendor master and custom master are combined and treated as one master. What is the name of this? The metal can have more than one purchase info record, true or false. Production version is mandatory in S4 or true or false. The answer for those quiz will be discussed in the next session. So now we discussed and understood the master data introduction, the overview of master data for PP and MM. The next session will discuss the importance of metal master and various views in the metal master. Whatever the clarifications you need, please put them in the comment section. They will be answered then and there. Meanwhile, if you would like to hire the dedicated server to practice along with me, contact me at the following WhatsApp contact or email address. Also, please suggest your friends to subscribe to the channel so they also get the benefit of getting knowledge, benefit of this knowledge sharing session. Thank you. See you in the next session. Take care. Bye.